It's a glorious night for baseball, made even more so with last night's Twins win over the Angels, their best game played of the season so far. 12 hits for the Twins in a win in Game 2 of the series, and some clutch two-out hits along the way. That and some great pitching by Scott Diamond in the bullpen, it all added up to a very nice ball game for the Twins last night, and they hope to make it 2 in a row here tonight. Bert Lylev and Dick Raymer with you for the final game played this year between the Twins and the Angels, and it's apparent at this point that the acquisition of Ryan Doumit and Josh Willingham have been very important ones for the Twins.
Well, they really have, Dick. Josh Willingham basically carried the Twins that first week. Now, Willingham, this guy has been hitting in that number 4 spot. He's been driving in some runs, and he likes hitting here at Target Field. You see the great average right there, a guy that can hit some home runs and get some extra base hits. And talk about a guy that's had some extra base hits as of late. How about Ryan Doumit, a switch hitter, but 4 home runs on the year, 2 of them coming in Seattle, and then in last night's win over the Angels, another home run, a big 2-run home run in the first inning.
This year he's still looking for his first win of the year, Irvin Santana.
Boy, unbelievable bad luck. What he has not been able to do yet is, you see the 5 starts, his last 5 starts, no run support. He has yet, this is his 7th start, pitched with a lead. So Irvin Santana hoping that he can put some zeros on the board, and maybe the Angels can score first.
Twins have 1 series win on the year. It was against the Angels here earlier this year, and they'll hope to get another series win here with Carl Pavano setting the example for last night's Twins starting pitcher. North is brought to you by your local Northland Ford dealers. Visit your local Northland Ford dealer or go to northlandford.com. And by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards.
beautiful night in downtown Minneapolis as the Twins, for the second time this season, going to try to win a series over the Los Angeles Angels here at home on Fox Sports North. I'm Robbie Mikowski. Thanks for tuning in. Well, Carl Pavano has proven not only to be a mentor to younger pitchers on this Twins pitching staff, but he's also been a reliable pitcher. He's been a good mentor to guys like Scott Diamond. Scott Diamond last night, 7 shutout innings for the Twins, and he tries to emulate Carl Pavano and tries to go deep in the ball games. What exactly does Scott Diamond do to get in the ball deep in the ball games? I asked him that question earlier.
You know, there's always one thing that I like to focus on. You know, I pick a point if I'm starting to struggle or fall behind hitters. And for me right now, that's actually looking at the scoreboard and just looking at the box score and just looking at that 7-inning mark, because that's what I'm trying to strive for every time. And I talked to Carl last year about, you know, how he goes so deep into games, and, you know, no matter whether he's cruising or whether he's, you know, in a little bit of a rough patch. And he just said that he focuses on going 7 innings every time. So, you know, I think just seeing that 7 up there on the board for me is that little trigger that, you know, let's just get back to it, and helps me, you know, simplify things a little bit more.
And tonight we'll hear from Scott Diamond in the top half of the 3rd inning here on Fox Sports North. When we come back, it's the return of the stash. It's Carl Pavano time as he gets the ball, trying to give the Twins their 2nd consecutive win. First pitch with Dick and Bert coming up next.
They have been flexing their muscles of late. The offseason acquisitions of Ryan Doumit and Josh Willingham have had nothing to do with the Twins' troubles and have had everything to do with their successes. Jamie Carroll has proven to be lights out with the leather, and he'll get plenty of chances to prove his worth around the diamond for the rest of the season. Tonight, the Twins trio looks to help Minnesota to its 2nd series win of the season as Carl Pavano tries to clip the Angels. Only once this year have the Twins won back-to-back games, and that little 2-game streak came at the Angels' expense here earlier this year.
Yeah, back in April. So let's hope that Carl Pavano can do his norm, and that's pitched deep into the ball game, and the Twins can score some early runs off of Irvin Santana.
Menard's batting order for Mike Scioscia on the Los Angeles Angels. Mike Trout leading off. Alberto Callaspo hitting 2nd. Albert Pujols hitting 3rd. Kendrys Morales, Torrey Hunter, Howie Kendrick in the middle of the lineup, then Vernon Wells, Eric Ibar, and Bobby Wilson.
And it's Carl Pavano making his 7th start, his 2nd against the Angels, and his 9th career start against the Los Angeles Angels. 4 wins, 2 losses with an ERA just over 4.5. against the Angels in his starts. And Nikita Pavano, of course, changing speeds, keep the ball down in the strike zone, and work all four corners of the plate.
Good to see Denard Span in the middle of the Northland Ford defense in the outfield for the Twins. Josh Willingham in left, Span in center, Eric Komatsu in right. Valencia at third, Dozier at short, Carroll at second, Bauer at first for the second game in a row. And for the second game in a row, Drew Butera behind the plate. And Carl Pavano had a pretty good thing going last year and the year before when they were matched up as battery mates.
Yeah, you know what, and you know, kind of the theme going into tonight's ball game is consistency. And talking about Carl Pavano, now this is his 84th start as a Minnesota Twin. He's 33-30, but in those 83 starts, 67 times he's gone 6 innings or more. That's 81%. So he's been a workhorse for the Twins in today's game.
You saw the weather conditions for early May. You couldn't ask for anything better than what we have here tonight. It's supposed to be a little bit warmer tomorrow. Ball 1 to Mike Trout. He'll be followed by Alberto Callaspo and Albert Pujols. Strike 1-1. It wasn't just Scott Diamond and the Twins relievers last night who shut out the Angels. A lot of people have been doing that lately. The Angels lead the major leagues. They've been shut out 7 times this year. 1-2.
Pavano in his 4th season with the Twins, 36-year-old right-hander.
Got the corner. And Pavano dropped a changeup over the inside corner, and Trout has gone on strikes.
Well, a good way to start the ball game off with a strikeout. His 20th strikeout in 40 innings pitched. You saw where Butera sat. He wanted it away. It was stayed inside, and it kind of froze Trout right there. And he takes a call, 3rd strike.
1 gone, and here's Callaspo. And Pavano clips the outside corner with a fastball.
You know, Dick, a lot of people look at this Angel Ball Club and they say, well, these two, you know, the Texas Rangers and the Angels, they're supposed to run away in their division and fight all season long. But, you know, the Angels come in 13 wins, 18 losses. Had a chance to talk to Mickey Hatcher, you know, and everybody's talking about Albert Pujols. Albert Pujols isn't doing this. He's not doing that yet. But Mickey said, you know, it's not only him. There's so many guys in the lineup that haven't really reached their what they expect out of him. This is one of them right here, Alberto Callaspo. Yeah, he's hitting well right-handed, but left-handed hitting only 143. Overall, only 234. The guy that hit 288 last year for the Angels.
Left center field, chased by Willingham. He makes the catch out, number 2.
Let's take a look at our GMC keys to the game. And I think we saw it, especially over the last couple nights. Some good defensive plays up the middle. And nobody wants these type of plays made more behind him than the guy on the mound right here, Carl Pavano. A contact type pitcher. He wants to get through some innings with, you know, 8, 9, 10 pitches. And how do you do that? Good defense behind you.
Outside the Pujols. We've seen Dozier 2 games so far. Apparently very good range to both his left and his right. Pujols fouls it back. Now Pujols hit his first home run Sunday for the Angels after getting a mental day off on Saturday. Since his home run, he's 1 for 10. So the home run didn't really shake much loose, at least not yet. 1-1. High foul fly, 1-2.
You know, he is not spread out as much, and we'll get Ron Coomer in on this, but I talked to Mickey Hatcher. They're trying to get him to what you talked about last night, Ron, was load a little bit more on the back side.
Yep.
Butera hangs on. No, they're saying the foul tip hit the ground, so the at-bat's still alive.
Yeah, we'll get that into a little bit later as Pujols finishes his at-bat, but Mickey has been working with him, trying to not hit off his front foot, but put more weight, like you talked about, Ron, on that back leg.
You look at his body, his weight right now is dead middle. He just barely, he's not lifting his front foot now, so he's going to kind of a no stride, which is fine. But if you do that, just like a pitcher, you got to find that balance point or that load. You got to do that as a hitter, and he's not doing that at all.
You can kind of tell right there, Ron. I mean, he looks uncomfortable in the box as far as where his left foot should be. the first couple pitches before he got 2 strikes, he seemed to have that left leg closer to the right, but watch him stretch out a little bit right here as he goes. Now he's creeping one more time toward the pitcher.
As a hitter, Bert, I was taught this a long time ago by one of your fellow Hall of Fame players, Carlton Fisk. Whenever you're getting beat by pitches or you're way out in front by influenced by off-speed pitches, you're not getting back, and that's what's happening to Albert Pujols. He's not loading up, and he is human. He's making some mistakes at the plate.
Pavano on 15 pitches has a 1-2-3 first inning. Runs on the bottom of the inning. We'll see what they can do here tonight with this Menards batting order. Denard Span back in the leadoff spot. Brian Dozier, Joe Mauer, Josh Willingham, Ryan Doumit, Danny Valencia, Eric Komatsu, Drew Butera, and Jamie Carroll.
And on the mound, Ervin Santana. So, a lot of people say, well, he's just been unlucky. Well, yeah, he's unlucky. 0-6. The Angels have not scored him a lot of runs. Actually, they have not scored any runs for him in his last 5 starts. Been shut out his last 5 starts. But here's a guy that has had some success against the Twins, making his 10th career start, 3-3 in his career, making his first start here at Target Field.
Span on the box, and he takes ball 1. Denard got a day off, his first yesterday, had a collision with the center field fence 2 nights ago. And Span takes down and away 2-0.
Now Santana will come at the offense for the Twins with a fastball, hard slider. It's very important to get that fastball and not miss it. There's a fastball for a strike.
Span takes it 2-1. Chopped to short. Ibar has an easy play. Span by a half step, 1 away. Northland Ford defense for the Angels. Vernon Wells is in left. Mike Trout in center. Torrey Hunter in right. Callaspo, Ibar, Kendrick, Pujols. Bobby Wilson doing the catching.
Yeah, not only Santana, he's 0-6. Not only he has not pitched with a lead yet this year. His opening day start came in Anaheim against the Kansas City Royals. He gave up 3 runs in the first, and they never tied it or anything. He's never pitched with a lead, and this is his 7th start.
It is an historically bad start for Santana. He's the first Angel pitcher to ever lose his first 6 starts inside 1-1. Santana, of course, threw a no-hitter last July against the Indians. 1-1 to the Twins shortstop. And that hits the outside corner.
There's that slider right there. Dozier off to a very good start. His 3rd major league game. 3 hits and 8 at bats so far. All 3 singles.
Fought it off and flicked it foul.
You know, we saw that in yesterday's ball game against Dan Herron. Remember, a pretty good pitch down and away, and he just took the pitch over the head of Pujols into right field for a base hit.
And the inside corner call, out number 2.
And Santana, there's Dan Herron right there, bothered by a little bit of a bad back during last night's start. Good fastball. And Santana, who coming off a start against the Blue Jays where he struck out 10 in 8 very good innings.
Dozier strikes out for the first time in the big leagues. Here's Joe Mauer. Mauer 12 hits, 23 at bats against Santana, and he takes strike 1. Back to the pitcher, and Santana flips it to Pujols. A 1-2-3 bottom of the first inning.
I'm Robbie Smikowski. Today is a great day for mascots all around professional sports, as our own TC today celebrated game number 1,000 in a row. It's been since April of 2000 when TC took the reins back at the Metrodome and has not missed a game since. And in honor of the special night, Dick and Bert, TC was presented with a custom-made 3-wheeled bicycle. And it's just a great night. I don't know where TC is going to drive that thing, but keep your eyes around town. If you see a 3-wheeled bicycle, you'll know where he got it and why he got it.
I'll tell you what, he better not be on the warning track tomorrow, because that's my warning track tomorrow. I'm on the grounds crew, and I'm going to take care of it, and I don't want any tire tracks on it.
You know what? TC not only entertains the fans here at Target Field, but he gives so much time to different organizations throughout the day. TC has really represented the Twins in a very positive way.
And a base hit to left field off the bat of Morales. Morales running to first awkwardly. I guess he's all right. Remember, he had that terrible ankle injury a couple of years ago. I don't want to be Johnny Raincloud here, but you'll get a look at the pitch down over the plate. Morales slaps it to left. But technically now, TC got a funny gimp to
his saw that. We have seen that. You know, that ankle's still bothering him. So I don't think he's going to try to steal a base.
Okay. Well, now technically, though, don't we have to wait? There's a grounder to third. Backhanded by Valencia. There's Carroll at second. Bauer at first, a double play. Hunter wraps into a 5-4-3, 2 gone.
Well, we talked about the defense behind Carl Pavano. You have to be on your toes because, you know, he throws strikes. That offense for the Angels or any club, they're going to go up there swinging a bat. It's exactly what Torrey did. Jumped on the first pitch, ground ball to Danny Valencia, and a good feed over to Jamie Carroll. Quick release, over to first. A bang-bang double play.
Kendrick takes the ball.
So go ahead. You were
I was going to say, don't we have to wait till the 5th inning to make this an official game? It's like Ripken's consecutive game streak that wasn't acknowledged until. I know it's a beautiful.
Cloud in the
I
sky.
that.
Well,
I know that, but you know you can't assume that this game will be an official game until it becomes an official game.
I say then in the after the 5th inning, Robbie does that hit again.
I think so. There's a drive to right field. Komatsu back. And he plays the bounce. Digging for second is Kendrick. And he's in with a double. So now that double play turned a moment ago looming very large because Kendrick follows with an extra base hit.
Yeah, Kendrick coming into this series right here, a .354 hitter against the Twins pitching staff since he's come up to the big leagues back in 2006. Take a look at the fastball right here, or breaking ball left up, and Kendrick, good hitter, just went the other way with it. A line drive over the head of Komatsu. He tries to play the carom, does a good job, but Kendrick with a double, his 7th double of the year.
Kendrick made the Twins pay for leaving pitches up around the belt in Anaheim last week. Here's Vernon Wells. Wells getting his batting average into the mid-200s after a slow start.
Wells, very good numbers against Carl Pavano. 11 hits and 29 at-bats with 4 home runs.
Down and away, ball 1.
Carl's going to be very careful with Vernon Wells right here.
Popped him up. Mauer will let Carroll handle it. No, Mauer will call for it and make the catch. 2 hits in the inning. A man left at second. No damage done. Field, no score as we go to the bottom of the second.
Oh, there you go, Sue. You were here by Circle. Happy 50th birthday to you. They're going to be up in the booth here in a couple innings. But fans, go to foxsportsnorth.com and click on to Circle Me Bert to submit an email on why your sign should be circled on an upcoming home game and have a chance to visit us up here in the booth. We'll reveal 2 sections the morning before each game. One will be listed on foxsportsnorth.com and the other on KFAN, KFAN.com.
1-0 to Josh Willingham. Drills one to the left field corner. It'll go to the wall, and Willingham will go to second. So Willingham, who got maybe the most important of the 12 hits last night, the double that scored the first run, gets a leadoff double here in the second.
Yeah, that was a 2-out double, and then followed by Ryan Domit's 2-run home run, giving the Twins a 3-0 lead. Double number 9 on the year for Josh Willingham. And for the Twins, their 51st double of the year.
And that'll bring up Domit. Domit with 4 home runs, all of them hit from the left side of the plate. His 4th coming last night, and he takes low. Domit, then Valencia, as the Twins hope to take the first lead here against Irvin Santana.
Ron Coomer down on the camera well. Ryan Domit, Josh Willingham, new faces to the Twins organization.
New faces, but they've done very well since they've been here. Like yesterday, you know, these two guys, Dick, you just said it. And Bert, maybe the biggest hit of the night last night was the double, 2-out double, and then the 2-run homer by Domit. These guys have really swung the bats well. And, you know, and just watching their work today, you know, this is exactly what the Twins were looking for, is 2 quality people that can play the game. They do it the right way. And, you know, you see these guys digging in. The team's been struggling, and these are 2 guys that are helping them get out of this slump.
Well, Domit leading the club with 17 RBIs on the year, and he's driven in 16 over his last 17 games.
3-0 to Ryan Domit. Strike taken. And it's 3-1.
You'd like to drive him in right here, but Ryan also knows, hey, let's get Josh over to third somehow. Maybe Danny Valencia can pick him up.
Yeah, you're definitely looking for a ball you can hook, but you want to hook it and hook it hard.
And ball 4 taken. First base filled for Valencia. So 2 aboard for the Twins' third baseman, and Santana's working himself into a jam here in the second.
Well, this is one guy right here, Danny Valencia. The Twins need to have him pick it up a little bit. 0 for his last 21 at-bats.
You know, guys, when you're swinging a bat and you're struggling like Danny is, there are times you come up in situations, especially RBI situations. You know, if you can pick out that right center gap and really stick there and make your approach go to right center, especially to a guy like Santana, who, you know, since the double has kind of been picking around the zone and not attacking the strike zone. It's a great time. Shoot at that 403 sign in right center field and just aim there, and all of a sudden you'll find yourself back on track quick.
He hit a ball to right center last night with authority, and when we've seen him do that, he hasn't had much to show for it. People thought last night the ball he hit to right center field. Ron Coomer on the conference call, I think you said that ball was out at Yankee Stadium. We'll see what he gets here on 1-0. And Santana slumps his shoulders.
A lot of breaking balls right now for Santana. A little low. Well, I would have wanted it. But...
You wanted everything.
Yeah, that's true.
2-0 to Valencia.
Yeah, Sam Holbrook, the crew chief behind the plate.
Chop foul. One thing, though, I think we can say about Valencia, as much as he struggled offensively, he was perceived, rightly or wrongly, he was perceived as a guy who was just thinking about his hitting and didn't care so much about his defense. He has struggled at the plate this year, but he's probably given the Twins the best 3 weeks of work defensively that he has in his career.
He's only made a couple errors over at third. Very solid.
There's one to right field. Willingham with a chance to possibly tag, but Hunter has that gold glove arm, and he throws to the shortstop, 1 down.
Well, that's kind of what Ron Coomer was talking about, taking that ball the other way. He just got underneath it a little bit. You know, I mean, he hit it solidly. It might have been over the head of Torrey Hunter, but instead, Torrey able to get it and get it back in quickly.
Yeah, that ball right there, that was a product of the pitch before, actually. You looked at the pitch before, kind of pulled off it and really rolled around the ball. So then when you try to make that adjustment, he let that ball get in on him 2-0, and it really beat him. But getting beat by a fastball is a much better approach when you're struggling than being out in front of everything, I'll tell you that.
There's a 1 out on the board instead of 2. Here is Komatsu. We've seen Danny so many times pull off the ball, to use Ron Coomer's term, and hit a ground ball double play. Komatsu takes one at the knees. Twins trying to take advantage of the leadoff double in the ensuing walk.
Komatsu 2 hits and 14 at bats so far. Picked up his first major league RBI last night on a sacrifice fly. Grew up in Southern California. Played at Cal State Fullerton. I'd like to get a big hit right here.
A little bit low. 1-1.
Santana, 29 years old, in his 8th season with the Angels. Making his 210th major league start. He has 87 wins, 73 losses.
Mike Scioscia barking at Sam Holbrook about the call on that close pitch. 1-1 to Eric Komatsu. 2-1. You saw Santana's numbers, and you may have noticed one in particular that's alarming. 11 home runs allowed. That's leading the major leagues. He had one game where he gave up 4 home runs in one game 2 starts ago.
What's wrong with that?
Fouled off a leg, and it's 2-2. Well, let's imagine now that Santana will pitch 200 innings. Right now, he's got 38, 39, 40 innings right now. So multiply his innings pitched times 5 to get to 200. Then you multiply his home runs times 5. Your record is in serious jeopardy.
Oh, no, they'll shut him down. 50 home runs. Big deal. I think I won 17 games that year, too.
2-2 right now. Santana's looking for his first. Bouncer to second. And Santana pitches around the leadoff double. Willingham's double is wasted. No score after 2. We'll hear from last night's starter and winner, Scott Diamond. We'll take them back. The word value followed by a space in the player's name to short code 234234. Joe Mauer with 37% of the vote so far. I would hope that last night Scott Diamond ended up winning this little contest that we have after 7 brilliant innings. Angels got a couple of hits in the second, but did not score. The Twins got a leadoff double in their half of the second, but did not score. Eric Aybar will lead off the third for the Angels. That's the first time I've ever seen that work.
Hey, John.
Aybar moving up the box with his hand up the bat barrel, and we've seen Alexi Casilla try it.
Well, I think Gardy's going to ask him if he was out of the box when he made contact with that, because he did start running toward the ball. Sam Holbrook.
Both feet have to be in the batter's box when you make contact.
Let's take a look right here. We'll see him running. See that foot's out of his foot's out of the batter's box. He should be out. Well, you can't tell me the third base umpire can't see that.
Probably wasn't looking for it. Here's Bobby Wilson in what might be a bunting situation. And the pitch taken, ball one. We see Alexi Casilla try that a number of times, but I don't believe it's ever worked for Alexi. And Ibar just chipped it over the head of Valencia, who was running in on the fake bunt. Actually, another guy who used to do it a long time ago is the Angel first base coach, Alfredo Griffin. Used to do that a lot.
Let's take another look right here. Look at the foot where it's at. It's out of the batter's box. But it's a base hit. Bunt single.
Second leadoff hit for the Angels in a row. 1-0 to the Angel catcher. Runner goes, and the pitch grounded to short. Safe and out. Dozier gave it a shot. Carroll was waiting at the bag for him, and Wilson would have been out at first anyway, so why not take a shot?
Well, you know what, Dick? Wilson's not a quick runner down that line, so I don't know if Brian Dozier knew this, but you know what? Get the hop right here, flip it over to Carroll, who's ready for it, and then get the out at first base. But Ibar, who was off with the pitch, ends up at second base.
So one down, a runner at second, and here's Mike Trout called out on strikes to start the ball game. Changeup floats over for a strike. Pavano, a couple wins, 2 losses, and an okay ERA of 4.62 coming into the game. I say okay because of the standard set by the other starters in the rotation. When you had Blackburn and Liriano in particular struggle, Hendricks was sent down with a bloated earned run average. Pavano has eaten up his innings and in most cases given the Twins a chance to win his ball game.
Oh, and that's the bottom line right there. Career ERA at 4.34, so not that far away from what his career is.
To left center field, hit to the gap. Span with a long run, and he'll play the bounce off the wall. Irvin Santana has his first lead of the season on a double off the fence by Mike Trout.
Well, we saw, Morales had a pretty good pitch down. Now, this would look like a breaking ball, but you see the strength of this young 20-year-old Mike Trout hitting his 4th double of the year, just driving in his 3rd run. Well, look where that pitch is right there, and he took it to the fence out by the bullpen area. So he picks up an RBI with the double.
Yay for Irvin Santana.
Now come out and give up 2.
Here's Alberto Callaspo. Strike over the inside corner. So the Angels are on the board. The last time they were shut out was the 2nd consecutive shutout before last night. Twins left Anaheim after Jared Weaver's no-hitter, and the Blue Jays shut out the Angels in back-to-back games. They're on the board here tonight, 1-0. Pavano will try to strand Trout at second base.
Yeah, hold it at that right there. Stay away from multi-run innings if you can.
Callaspo with a fly to left his first time up. Poked to left, too tall for Valencia. Trout to third, and he'll be held there. And it's the 3rd Angel hit this inning, and 5 in the last 8 at bats against Pavano.
Pretty good hitting right there by Callaspo, because this ball was away. It just stayed up in the strike zone. If that ball's down, maybe he turns on it and hits a ground ball. But again, Pavano, who changes speed so well. We'll take a look at the location of this pitch. Butera wants it away, but good piece of hitting right there by Callaspo. Ron Coomer right now, they're just kind of waiting back and just shooting the ball the other way, and except for Trout, I mean, he clobbered that ball.
Yeah, but all those pitches, Bert, are away, and 2 of them were off-speed pitches. And to me, what you're looking at is the Angel hitters looking away and knowing they're going to get ball away and they're attacking that pitch.
Pujols on the first pitch sends a fastball into left, and it's 2-0. As Pujols drives in his 10th run of the year.
Jumping on the first pitch, left up right there, and Pujols drives in the second run.
Morales will hit next.
Guys, you were just talking about what pitches guys are hitting. It looks like to me their approach has been to look away and attack the ball that's thrown away, and that's been Carl's forte. I would anticipate seeing that, and Carl's going to start busting guys in.
It's the outside corner on the first pitch to Morales. Pavano got a double play grounder in the second inning off the bat of Torrey Hunter. He'd love to get another one here. One and one.
This is where you might see Carl come in right here. The first two pitches away. Watch Butera behind the plate.
Bounce to first.
All right, turn it.
Bauer with a low throw that hits the runner. It hit Pujols right in the back. The Twins won't get any outs. Pujols hit right on the. Pujols says he's fine. It looked like it got him right in the tailbone almost. So it's a 3-run inning. An error will be charged to Bauer. The way Morales hobbled his way down the first baseline. If they could have gotten the first out, they would have gotten the second.
You want to throw this ball on the outfield side because that's where Dozier wants that ball. And you can see hit him right in the
rib cage
in the back. And deflecting into short left field.
Guys, that was just, to be honest, that, Joe made a throw a little bit to the inside, but that's pretty good base running by Albert, knowing where the ball's got to go. He's about a good 3 steps on the outfield side of the baseline. So when he took his lead and the ball's hit behind him, he went out of his way to get in the way of the Minnesota Twins. That was a good base running move by Albert.
The Twins now trailing 3-0. Teoscar scoring from second. Here's Hunter. Here's strike one.
And if you're keeping score at home, no RBI for Morales with the air of Joe Mauer.
Got in on the handle of Hunter's bat. Foul back, 2 strikes. Torrey was red hot when the Twins played the Angels in Anaheim. And he's cooled off considerably now, hitless in his last 15 at bats. And for Torrey, even a high number of strikeouts, 31 on the season. To Valencia, to Carroll, and Hunter's wrapped into his second double play of the night. Nevertheless, the Angels put 3 up in the third. Fox Sports North is brought to you by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. By CenturyLink, a different kind of communications company. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Grand Casino, the best stories start here. Drew Butera in the box, leading off the Twins' third inning, trying to answer with a run or two after the Angels took a lead 3-0. And for the first time this year, Ervin Santana's pitching with a lead. And he misses with his first two offerings to Butera. Carroll and Span will follow. At the knees, 2-1. We saw Butera hit the ball sharply a couple of times right up the middle last night.
Yeah, Butera coming up from AAA on May 1st when the Twins designated Sean Burroughs for assignment. 1 for 6 so far.
Bouncer to short. Ibar fires on the run. Pujols with a rather nice move, stepping into foul territory, then reaching back to tag Butera one away.
Well, on the run right there and up the line a little bit on the infield side. And Pujols tagging out Butera.
Last year, Pujols injured his wrist on a similar play like that. The best and most affordable way to get good seats to watch the Cubs, Phillies, and Brewers is joining the Twins season ticket family. 20-game and 40-game packages are still available, and packages begin at just $220. Call 800-33 Twins or visit twinsbaseball.com. Jamie Carroll with one gone in the third inning. Two strikes. Twins got a leadoff double and a walk in the second inning. First and second, nobody out, but Santana pitched out of the jam, getting a double play grounder off of Eric Komatsu's bat. That's inside 2-1.
Jamie Carroll just 1 for 11 lifetime against Santana.
One and two. And a good take by Carroll. Three and two. Carroll with 13 walks, hitting just .224, but an on-base percentage of .314. His job here as a number 9 hitter, get on base for the top of the lineup. It's dumped behind first and twisting into foul territory. Still 3 and 2. Pulled between Steve Little and the line. Pavano giving up 3 runs. I believe 2 of those will be earned runs.
Right, 1 unearned.
And Carroll draws a walk. His 14th of the year. He's 1 behind Mauer for the team lead.
Yeah, good plate appearance right there by Jamie Carroll.
Second walk issued by Santana, and Span will hit. Got into a hitter's count, but hit a 2-hopper to Ibar at short. Not even sure who Ron Gardenhire was talking to in the foreground, out of focus there. Span bluffs the bunt, takes ball 1.
I think it's Justin.
Yep. Justin Morneau on the disabled list for another week, roughly, at least. takes a strike.
Let's take a look at this last pitch. Bottom of the strike zone. Sims says Fox Tracks.
Might be another double play ball. Ibar to Kendrick. Over to Pujols. 2 inning-ending double play grounders for Santana. He's got a 3-0 lead. The Angels in front 3-0. Twins hoping to win this series 2-1. They're in position to do that. This is a great outing last night from Scott Diamond. 7 shutout innings in his first win of this season and second major league win. Congratulations, Scott. That was fun to watch.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, you got it behind you now. You know, when you look back at your 7 shutout innings, how important was it that the offense scored you 3 runs early?
You know, it's always it always makes the game easier. You know, when you know that you have that kind of run cushion to work with, and especially being in the first inning, you know, it definitely helped me settle down for the second and third and every inning following that.
I know you said in the past that Carl Pavano, who's right now pitching to Howie Kendrick, but you said you had a chance last year, your September, you came up in July, made some appearances in September that really helped, and you got a chance to pick Carl Pavano's brain a little bit. That had to help too.
Oh, very much so. You know, he just talking to him in the outfield, you know, I've been batting a little bit in the minor leagues and even coming up here. You know, I was battling as I got into later innings, and so, you know, I just asked him how he did so well at always working late into games, you know, whether he was cruising through it or starting to struggle a little bit. And you know, his focus was always on always going on 7 innings at least. You know, go as deep in the game as he can, and so that's the mentality that I've tried to take into this year.
Kendrick with a solid single to center, and the Angels get another base hit, 7 of them already. Kendrick has a double and a single.
Well, Diamond last night worked 7 shutout innings, gave up only 4 hits, a walk with 6 strikeouts. The 7 innings pitched, a career high at the major league level, also the 6 strikeouts. Getting congratulated by your teammates. And Rick Anderson, I know you and Rick Anderson had a nice conversation after. He was pretty proud of you.
Yeah, you know, he told me, you know, that I was really effective working down and mixing speeds, and you know, me and Butera just really worked well together last night. You know, if I wasn't sure about handling a batter or a certain pitch, you know, he's always got that confidence, and so I always have that confidence in him throwing, and you know, just having him behind the plate really does help.
You know, one thing, Scott, that I noticed last night, I think we touched on it up here, was that when Sal sat away, you made sure that that pitch was away, and if they went in, you seemed, if you missed inside. We got a lot of young kids that watch this that have future aspirations, hopefully pitching at the major league level or even in high school or college, whatever. Where did you learn that?
You know, that was just experience, you know, getting used to my body and growing up and starting to, you know, feel myself and feel my mechanics out a little bit. I've always been a control guy. I've never really overpowered anybody, so it was either one way or the other, and so control was kind of the way I had to go, and so that was kind of a skill that I tried to harness.
Now, you're also a pitcher that goes straight over the top, so it's easy for you to get on top of that curveball. But last night, looked like you had like a good slider, a little cutter that was working down very nicely. I believe you struck out Mark Trumbo a couple times on that good, hard breaking ball down.
Yeah, it's a curveball, or at least I call it that. It runs a little harder than usual. But, yeah, it's a pitch that, you know, me and Andy talked about last year, trying to work on this offseason, and I think just to be a little more effective against lefties. And so far it's been pretty effective, not only when I have faced a lefty, but trying to get that late punch out against a righty as well.
Yeah, because it seemed like you had two types of curveballs. You had the slower one to get me over for a strike, and then if it's a two-strike, then you throw it a little bit harder.
Right, a little more aggressively. You know, I try to spin it a little tighter so it comes out kind of a similar angle as my fastball and usually drops out of the zone that way.
1-1 the count to Eric Ibar, who singled and scored the first run last inning. He pulled off the slug bunt, I think Ron Gardenhire calls it. Got aboard, and the Angels scored all 3 runs. Now the Twins pitch out, and Kendrick retreats to first.
Now let me ask you too, Scott. Now, you know, you're on the air with us here, but when you get off, you stay in the dugout, you watch, don't you?
Yeah, I like to pay attention. I feel like the best way to get to know a team or opposing team we're facing is by watching our guys. I try to watch, you know, how the hands work for each hitter and kind of see their approach. You know, watching video is one thing, but actually seeing it live is another.
Kendrick throws or goes to second base, and Ibar just throws the bat at the ball. Kendrick went down into a slide, and the bat cracked around the handle, and most of it ended up in the infield grass.
Well, remember, it was Ibar who was out of the box for that bunt, and right here just throwing the bat like you said right there, and Dozier was the one that was covering second base on the potential steal right there of Kendrick.
So Bobby Wilson will hit now with runners at first and second. Ibar with a couple of the more curious hits we've seen this season. The slug bunt, a little chip shot over Valencia's head, and now a bat broken at the handle, and a little chip shot over Dozier's head into short left. Inside, ball 1 to the Angel catcher.
Yeah, we still have Scott Diamond with us down from the dugout. Now, Scott, you know, you had that 3-0 lead after 1, but you know, the Angels were able the next 2 innings to put runners on third base, but you really worked out of those jams nicely.
Yeah, I was able to get the first out of both those innings, which I think was the big key there. And even though those guys got on, I was still able to work down the zone. I've been trying to work on just settling down, you know, trying to not let the game speed up on me, and so it's been helping me get out of jams when I've been getting into them.
Boy, and that's a great point that you made right there. Get the first out of the inning, because even a couple base hits, you still got a chance to get a double play and get out of that inning.
Absolutely, you know, and I was able to do that in the first. You know, that Trout got on to start the game, and just I think mixing up speeds and my timing with Colaspo just really helped me get him to induce a ground ball.
Scott, we thank you for your time, and congratulations, and go get the Blue Jays on Sunday.
Yeah, may there be many more wins.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, guys.
2-0 to Bobby Wilson, runners at first and second, and they go, and the pitch tap foul. So Mike Scioscia playing with the lead, running the bases aggressively, sent the runners on the 2-0 pitch.
Well, you know, you have somebody at the plate. Wilson doesn't have a lot of at-bats this year, but a guy that's not real quick down that line. So you know what, if he hits a ground ball, he's still basically, it's a bunt, just advancing the runners.
Two and one. Bono's gotten a couple of ground ball double plays here tonight. He'll take another one here. Runners go again, and another one tap foul. So some speed on the bases with Kendrick and Ibar, the middle infielders for the Angels, and Mike Scioscia's got them moving here in the 4th inning. Pavano struck out Trout to start the ball game. His only strikeout of the game so far.
Yeah, I talked to Bobby Wilson before the ball game. Remember last night in the 9th inning, Joe Mauer broke his bat and ended up hitting the helmet of the catcher, Bobby Wilson. He said he was okay.
There's a double play ball. Dozier over to Mauer. Third double play grounder that Pavano's got tonight, doubling his total for the year. Carsoup.com/baseball. Linda Laughlin from Monticello wondering what I would most like to take part in as member of the grounds crew tomorrow. You know, somebody asked me about my little endeavor tomorrow and what's going to be the best feeling about it. You know what I think it's going to be? The first pitch. Not that I'm going to be working that hard to get rid of the field ready, but I would guess those guys down there, whenever the first pitch is thrown, the seats are filled, and people are enjoying what they've done all day. That's probably the most satisfying moment for them.
You know, what I liked is the interviews from the guys that are on the ground crew, how much pride they take into the field. And that's one thing. I know you're fulfilling a boyhood dream tomorrow, but it's these guys that really, I mean, look at this field. It's absolutely beautiful. You know, they just they do a great job.
Dozier swings and misses, 2 strikes.
And they take a lot of pride in it, too.
Well, if you are like me and you think this is the most beautiful ballpark in the country, there's a reason why. They got some really good people with back-breaking hours doing that. Here's a little dribbler, hits the mound. Ibar scoops it up. Dozier is retired. 1 away. 1 down. That'll bring up Joe Mauer, who had a comebacker to the mound his first time up. Ron Coomer, Mauer has tried to use the whole field a little bit more than we've seen him in the past.
Well, he has, Dick, and you're going to see right here with his spray chart of spots that he's hit the ball. And, you know, to me, that tells you that he is definitely making more of a conscious effort to pull the ball. You know, in this ballpark, if you hit the ball high into the middle of the field, it's not very conducive to getting many hits. But the other thing, in talking to Joe today, because he's actually hitting about 60 points higher this year at home than he has in years past. And I asked him about kind of his overall approach to hitting in this park now after a few years. And, you know, those high deep fly balls that you saw at the Metrodome that were home runs to left center, you know, are no longer home runs. So he's made a conscious effort of staying on top of the baseball this year and driving the ball down. And because of that, I think that's why you're seeing about 60 points higher in his average at home.
Boy, there's a pitch right there. If he squares up with that one, that may have left the ballpark. But you see where Vernon Wells is playing in yesterday's ball game. You know, Mauer hit a couple balls in front of Vernon Wells, and he's playing pretty shallow in left field. So, yeah, pitch right there, just a little tardy to create that foul ball.
1-2 to Mauer. Bouncer to short. Santana's getting a lot of ground balls. 2 down here in the 4th. bring up Josh Willingham. Twins and Blue Jays open up a 4-game series tomorrow night here at Target Field. It's a Sports Authority value pack game. You can get a ticket in the U.S. Bank Home Run Port View section and get a free Schweigert hot dog and Pepsi. 833 Twins, or visit twinsbaseball.com and check out all the options for tomorrow night's ball game at Target Field. 2 gone. Here's Josh Willingham. He has the only Twins hit, a solid double to the wall and left. Dozen hits last night for the Twins, and so far only 2 balls have left the infield. Willingham's double and Valencia's fly ball to right. The last 4 balls put in play have been hit to Ibar. There's one hit to Ibar in the hole. He plants, throws. What a great play and a strong throw by Eric Ibar from short left field. Angels putting up a 3 spot in the 3rd inning. Mike Trout will lead off the 5th against Carl Pavano on the first pitch, a belt high strike. Pavano's been touched for 8 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 unearned run, and 2 quick strikes to Mike Trout.
Yeah, 3 double plays turned behind him has really helped Carl Pavano so far this afternoon or this evening.
Trout in the 3-run 3rd reached across the plate and muscled the ball to the gap, in fact off the fence in left center field. An RBI double he later scored. This one hit to the same spot, to the base of the wall. Trout can fly, and he'll hold up with a double. It looked like he did the same thing again on a similar pitch.
Yeah, weighted back nicely and then utilized those strong hands on the wrists and just popped that ball almost off that wall again at the 377 mark. Back-to-back doubles for Mike Trout against Carl Pavano.
Look at that. See, the exact same location, and he did the same thing to it.
Remember in his first at-bat, they struck him out inside. Well, I mean, have they gone inside since? You see the speed of Trout. He thought about it, but held up right there as the cutoff man was hit.
Here's Callaspo. And he takes low. The Angels have had the leadoff man on in each of the last 4 innings. The only time Pavano has retired the leadoff man is when he struck Trout out in the first inning.
Always a possible bunt from Mike Scioscia here with Callaspo. Look out for that.
He drives it to the gap in right center field.
Wish he had bunted.
That's not going to be caught. Hard off the wall. Trout scores, Callaspo with a double, and it's 4-0.
Well, it was the Twins last night with a lot of extra base hits. It's the Angels here tonight with some extra base hits. 4 doubles so far in this ball game, and the 10 hits they've been able to get against Pavano.
Again, over the outer edge of the plate. And Callaspo drives it hard off the fence in right center.
Callaspo with his first double of the year, driving in his 8th run.
Ron Gardenhire coming to the mound here, and I had not paid attention to the bullpen. There is activity out there now, and I don't know whether Gardy has made up his mind or not. Just a quick trip to the mound. And he's going to get Carl Pavano and get him out of the ball game. Very short start for Pavano, who threw just 69 pitches in his last start in Seattle, being taken out after 6. And he leaves today with 61 pitches. So Pavano not 100% by any means. And as soon as they get the door opened out of the bullpen, they're going to bring in Alex Burnett to try to pick up this ball game in the 5th inning. Support Boys and Girls Club of America, a place where youth can reach their full potential as productive, caring, responsible citizens. To learn more, please visit greatfutures.org/Fox Sports. Well, last night the Twins kind of teed off on Dan Haren, and he had a very short start, and it was apparent afterwards that Haren discussed the fact he had some back tightness, never really felt right out there, and now Pavano not going to the trainer's room or back to the clubhouse. He's going to watch this play out, but he leaves the ball game early tonight.
Well, shortest start of the year for Carl Pavano, so hopefully everything is okay other than just leaving some pitches up. Alex Burnett trying to get out of this mess here in the bottom of or top of the 5th inning, making his 13th appearance.
Pujols jumped on a Pavano fastball and lined an RBI single to left his last time up. A big spot here for Alex Burnett as he comes in, and he's going to try to take this game into the 7th, 8th inning. Pujols flips it foul, 2 strikes. Cracks a base hit to right field. Callaspo around third. Komatsu coming up with a throw.
No.
And Mauer leaps to cut it off. And now Carroll comes in behind Pujols. And they got a weird run down here. And Pujols is going to give up and just be tagged out. But he's driven in his 2nd run with his 2nd RBI single. And it's 5-0.
I kind of said woo because it looked like Komatsu's throw was going to go all the way in the air, but Joe Mauer cut it off, as Albert Pujols, I believe, thought the same thing. It's this ball sharply the other way. Cayaspo scoring from second base. There's Joe Mauer right there. Smartly cuts it off and then gets Pujols in the rundown.
So 3 hits to start the 5th inning. And Morales at the plate. He's 1 for 2. And Burnett cranks one wild high, 2-0. Morales hit the ground ball to Mauer. It looked like the Twins might be able to minimize the damage in the 3rd with a ground ball double play, but Mauer's throw hit Pujols in the back in the rib area. And the Angels went on to score 3 that inning. Pavano, who has done his best to pitch 6 innings in every start so far until tonight, has seen his pitch count dwindle over his last 4 starts. Struggling to find his fastball is how Ron Gardenhire described it. It hasn't been in the low 90s at all. It's been topping out in the upper 80s, and you can see the last 5 starts now the pitch count has gone down from a 110, 83. And there's one in there 69 in his last start that we didn't list in Seattle.
Yeah, they did those by innings, how many pitches he threw per inning.
Off a foot, rolled up the line.
Yeah, there's a good fastball in right there. It seems like every pitch that Pavano threw was outer half of the plate, other than when he struck out Mike Trout in the 1st inning. Got a piece of Morales's ankle. Well, the book is closed on Carl Pavano. 4+ innings, 10 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, with no walks and 1 strikeout.
2-2 to Kendrys Morales. And Burnett strikes him out. Morales tagged for out number 2. Burnett, 15 2/3 innings, 15 hits, couple of home runs, 4 walks. The role that I think a lot of people thought Burnett would fill on this year's Twins team has instead been filled by Jared Burton, a late inning right-handed reliever. Good news for Torrey Hunter, he can't bounce into a double play this time. He's hit into 2 of them and is now 0 for his last 16. Missing inside, 1-1. Angels head to Texas after the game tonight. They have an off day there tomorrow. Fly ball center field and Span over a few steps to end the inning. But a good inning for the Angels. 3 hits start the inning. They score 2 more and lead 5-0.
State Lottery Winner's Circle, where I am holding $100 here in Minnesota State Lottery tickets for Sandy Feldy here. She is the senior advisor for Belle Plaine High School. And Bert and Dick, she brought 55 of her kids here to the ball game tonight in honor of their achievement tonight. What makes your class special, Sandy?
They're just great kids that love to do lots of things. They're good kids.
There you go. And in honor of her raising these good kids and advising so well, we're giving her $100 in Minnesota State Lottery tickets, Bert.
Congratulations to you and your students.
We had a stop at Belle Plaine High School in the Caravan a couple of years ago. Domet with a drive right over the bag into the corner. He's got an extra base hit. The ball stays in the corner, and Domet's going to dig for third. Kendrick's throw to third, not there in time. It caroms away and backing up where he should be, the pitcher Santana. Domet has a leadoff triple here in the fifth.
Ryan Domet hitting this ball between Pujols and the bag right down that corner, and you expect Torrey Hunter, I think, thought that ball would, maybe shoot out of there a little bit. But as we look at it, it kind of stuck right there. So Torrey has to go get it back in. Domet rounded first, went to second, and then looked at Steve Little and said, "Oh no, I
got one more to go." Remember earlier this year, Torrey had a similar ball hit into the corner, and he went after it awkwardly. Had a really frightening collision with the sidewall, and this time the ball hugged the corner. Valencia at the plate. He had a fly ball to right his first time up. Infield playing back with Domet at third, and the Angels up by 5. There's strike one. Valencia hit a fly ball to right his first time up. Has been hitting the ball more to the opposite field. Checks his swing there. They'll appeal. It's a strike, and Valencia quickly in an 0-2 hole.
For Ryan Domet, his first triple of the year and his 6th career triple.
Didn't take much to get Domet in from third with the infield playing back, and Domet's going to come home. Ibar is going to fire to first. Valencia grounds out, but he gets the Twins on the board with his 11th run batted in. Komatsu will hit next. Time now for the CenturyLink high-speed pitch.
Well, Carl Pavano, 4+ innings. An unusual start for Carl with 10 hits allowed. It was clocked as high as 88. So you see that usually Carl's 91, 92, and Santana at 95.
And it's really been an issue for Pavano, though, coming out of spring training. He had a couple miles per hour off his fastball, and he said, hey, it's nothing to be concerned about. It happens to people a lot coming out of spring training. It happened to him before coming out of spring training, but he really hasn't found that velocity yet.
Remember Joe Nathan when he was a closer. Remember coming out of spring training, his fastball was always 88 to 90, and then all of a sudden once he got in there and got some innings in and got a little more loose, then you see the 93 to 95.
2-0 to Komatsu. 3-0. Earlier this year, the Angels had a 6-run lead on the Twins, and the Twins came back and won a ball game. Now today they'll try to come back from a 5-run deficit. And Komatsu draws a 4-pitch walk.
Yeah, 3rd walk for Santana.
Drew Butera comes to the plate. Our AT&T trivia contest. Question for tonight. Not really a contest, because if you get it right, you don't get a prize, or we'd be rolling in it up here. Who are the 2 starting pitchers to start 0-7 last season? Boy. One year, it was a John Danks of the White Sox. I don't know if it was last year, started 0-8.
I believe he's one of them. I believe it was last year he started off poorly.
Down and away, and Wilson's going to go and try to get and a flashlight to Santana here.
And Mike Butcher, not John Butcher, coming out. Just trying to help you out.
You notice I've let you handle all the trips to the mound by the pitching coach. Santana looking for his first win, and I'm sure he's not thinking negatively at all, but he does have to complete the 5th inning to qualify for the win. His team has given him its first lead, and it's grown to 5-0, now 5-1.
Yeah, one thing that Mike Scioscia surrounds himself with, and a lot of coaches with a lot of major league experience. Mickey Hatcher, Mike Butcher right there, the pitching coach, a teammate of mine when we were teammates in Anaheim. Alfredo Griffin at first base. Rob Piccolo, the bench coach.
They've lost a lot of coaches to managerial jobs. With Joe Madden in St. Petersburg managing the Rays, Ron Renicky, the Brewers.
Yeah, Renicky just signing a 2-year extension with the Brewers.
2-0 to Butera. That's hit to right center field. Down for a hit. Komatsu will hold up at second. Butera hitting the ball through a couple games a little more sharply than he did at any point last year. And the Twins continue to build a threat here in the 5th.
Well, one thing, Drew went down to AAA, and he came up. He was hitting almost 280 down there. So, you know, shortening his stride a little bit and just making good, solid contact. So, Drew, good level swing, lining it the other way. So I was a little surprised that Komatsu didn't take off for third base right. He kind of held up, but he's got to read the outfielders a little bit better on that flight of that ball. He should be at third base.
Carroll walked after falling behind in the count early. Breaking ball away, ball 1. Big plate appearance here now for Jamie Carroll. If he can reach, not make it out, the Twins will get the tying run to the plate. Don't need to get all 5 back this inning, but another 1 or 2 would go a long way toward picking everyone's spirits up here a little bit. 2-0. Santana can't find the strike zone. Span on deck. Santana has been helped by 2 ground ball double plays.
Now 66 pitches, 36 strikes, 3 walks and a strikeout for Santana. Giving up only 3 hits. He could load the bases here with 1 more pitch out of the strike zone.
Down the middle, a strike. Back to the glove of Santana. Out at second. Safe at third. They're calling it out at second base. And here comes Ron Gardenhire to argue. Ibar and Kendrick both reached for the ball. Ibar caught it, but did he have a foot on second base?
Sure looked like he did not. Second base umpire Rob Drake hearing it from Ron Gardenhire right now. Now, as a pitcher, you should know who's covering the bag, but it looked like there's a little mix-up to the middle infielders. Both of them were there. Take a look right there on his foot's on the bag right there. And a little trouble getting that ball out, and then alertly held on to it and then tried to get the runner at third, but Komatsu diving back in safely.
Well, now a big at bat for Span. I don't know why I counted these things up the other day. Twins have hit a comebacker to the mound now 44 times this year. In this their 30th game. That's your California high school math. Real quick, man. What is it? About 1.5 per game.
Thank you. I'm starting to count my fingers and my toes.
But that just seems like an awfully high number, isn't it? I mean, I know pitchers are the greatest athletes in the team and all that, but these are just one hoppers right back to the mound.
Well, we talked about it earlier, and you said, you know, we're going to make somebody a Gold Glove winner being a pitcher.
1 strike to Span. He's hit 2 ground balls to short. The Twins need to keep the line moving here and get at least 1 more this inning after Domit's leadoff triple.
Sad to say that ball hit back to Santana. You expect a double play. His throw was just on the second base side. Not a good feed to your shortstop if that's who was covering. Kendrick was right there also.
1 strike to Denard Span. Ripped off the glove of Pujols, and it deflects to Kendrick. That's the hardest ball hit of the night, maybe, on the ground. And the Twins get 1 but leave 2.
Game of the series tomorrow as the Twins take on the Blue Jays. We continue with very tranquil weather. We just really pray for these beautiful days for these ball games. Light breeze is expected coming in out of the south, and it's looking a little toastier in the lower 70s for first pitch.
Vanessa says we pray for good weather like tomorrow. No one's prayed harder than I have. I won't have to roll the tarp out tomorrow.
Maybe there'd be one dark cloud. That's all.
Alex Burnett now pitching to the Angels in the 6th. Howie Kendrick's already got a double and a single.
And it doesn't have to be during the ball game. It can be for any time. That they should just take the tarp out anywhere.
3rd hit for Kendrick. And the Angels have a dozen already in the ball game, and there's nobody out here in the 6th.
Well, you mentioned last night, the Twins got 12 hits, the Angels only 4. Right now, it's the Angels with 12 hits, and the Twins with only 3.
Vernon Wells, the hitter, 0 for 2. Torrey Hunter brought his wife Katrina here to Minnesota today to see Target Field for the first time. Great jump by Kendrick, and he steals second base. So the Angels again run the bases aggressive anyway, and when they have a lead, they run them even more aggressively.
Yeah, we've seen the Angels like to run the bases already in this ball game against Pavano, but right here, Howie Kendrick, great jump off of Burnett, steals his 3rd base of the year. That foot right into the middle of the bag. A quick tag, but the ball kind of trickled away, but he does steal the base.
1-0 to Wells, fouled back. The Angels have imported a lot of talent, expensive talent. There's a pop-up near second base. Carroll calling for it. They assumed Wells' contract from the Toronto Blue Jays before they even thought about getting Albert Pujols. If you're hitting the road, take the Twins with you this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today and see every Twins out-of-market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit twinsbaseball.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Home territory blackout restrictions apply. Here's Ibar. He has a pair of singles. Hasn't hit the ball hard. Got a high fastball there and fouled it back. He did the slug bunt routine and just chipped one over the head of Valencia into the grass right behind third base. And then on a hit and run with Kendrick taking off, Ibar had the bat snap off and the handle. And he hit a little pop fly into short left field behind Dozier, who was covering second base. 2 strikes. And you were talking about Angels who are off to slow starts, and you think about Pujols and you think about Wells and Callaspo, but this guy really is there's a reason he's not hitting in the leadoff spot anymore. Ibar did a really good job last year for the Angels, and he's off to a slow start this year.
Yeah, came into this at bat hitting .215 with a couple hits. Came into the ball game hitting .200. A guy that hit .279 last year in 143 ball games. Also career high 10 home runs and 59 RBIs. Yes, he went. No.
2-2. Burnett entered the game in the 5th inning. Technically pitched the whole inning. He gave up a base hit to Pujols, but then Pujols was caught in a rundown. He got the next 2 batters. Now a single and a stolen base by Kendrick. Wells retired. And Ibar lifts a lazy fly ball to short left. Dozier. Look how fast he got out there. Willingham called him off, out number 2.
Boy, you like to see that right there. There's a young kid, Brian Dozier, that has a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of hustle, and it's good to see.
2 down, and here's Bobby Wilson. Wilson with a couple of ground balls to short. Or excuse me, 1 to short, 1 to second. There's a dribbler, and Valencia's going to have a tough play on a swinging bunt. And Bauer has to come off the bag and make a nice catch with Kendrick going to third base. Now, time called, they're going to get a different baseball in the game, but Bauer, I thought that was a pretty good play. That if that ball hits the runner, or any ball dropped here at all, and Kendrick's going to score from second base.
There's not much you can do about this. Danny made a good play. Good throw is just toward the infield side, and Joe alertly realizing he can't keep his foot on the bag and catch the ball at the same time, so he has to kind of go around Wilson just to keep it in his glove.
So a swinging bunt single for Bobby Wilson. First and third, 2 down, and Trout the batter. A pair of doubles. Now they deliver strike 1 over the inside corner. Looked like Butera again was set up away, and Burnett brought the pitch inside for a strike. Twice Trout's reached across the plate and hooked a double into the gap.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, if he's hitting that ball that far off the plate away, you've got to show him you'll come inside on it. Again, Pavano struck him out on a pitch middle in to lead off the ball game. Now Butera sitting inside.
There you go.
Make hitters aware of that pitch inside. And because of what happened, I want to go back in again.
Busted his bat.
Little different swing, isn't it, with that pitch inside than that breaking ball or change up away.
Remember Chuck Knobloch when he was with the Twins, and of course he got right up on the plate.
Well, trying to go inside. Good pitch right there.
He said a pitch in off the plate, that didn't bother him at all. But when you came inside and got strikes on the inside corner, because he's looking for the ball out over the plate, that was what really got to him. If it's ball 1, ball 2 inside, he didn't care whether he got hit or walked. He wanted to go to first base anyway. But to get strikes inside with a hard fastball, that was what really threw him off his game. Burnett knocks it down, and Trout's going to get an infield hit. So the Angels hit one back to the mound, and it hits the pitcher for another infield hit, and it's 6-1.
Yeah, Mike Trout, you know, if you don't catch this ball and it deflects like it did, it's an infield base hit. With his speed, he picks up his second RBI on his third hit. Alex Burnett, the ball hit behind him and then hit him in the buttocks, I believe, and no play. Hit him in the left thigh area.
Third hit of the inning. Callaspo takes a low, ball one. And Rick Anderson on the phone. Burnett's given up 4 hits and now at least 1 run here in the 6th. Fouled back, 1-1.
I was talking to Mike Scioscia the other day about all the games that the Twins have played against the Angels already. Here it is, what, May 8th or May 9th, and this is the 9th game between these two ball clubs and the last game this year. But the Twins, this is the 30th game, and they played the Angels 9 of the 30.
Haven't played the Tigers, Indians, or White Sox yet, and we played 9 against the Angels. Carroll with a nice play, flipping to Dozier, who got there just ahead of the sliding Mike Trout, and the inning ends. 3 singles, an Angel run at 6-1. After this swinging bunt, or not the slug bunt by Eric Aybar.
Yeah, you see Aybar's foot. You have to have both feet in the batter's box when you make contact, and he should have been called out right there, but instead it's a bunt single. That in the 3rd inning, and that's the inning that the Angels took a 3-0 lead.
Frostbrook Coors Light freeze cam. After that, there was a double and 2 more singles and an error, and before he knew it, the Angels led 3-0. Then a couple in the 5th, 1 in the 6th. It's 6-1, and Brian Dozier will lead off the bottom of the 6th for the Twins. Because of where we are, it is now official. TC has mascotted for 1,000 consecutive games.
Oh, where's Robbie?
Busted bat, a little pop fly to Aybar. 1 away. Mauer will hit next. He's 0 for 2. Our AT&T trivia question involved pitchers last year who started 0-7. And a lot like Santana this year. They had some bad luck along the way. It was John Danks who started 0-8. Slowey started and finished, I think, 0-8 with the Twins last year. But Danks didn't have much run support last year for the White Sox. And similarly, Santana has not pitched with a lead until tonight. Slowey, by the way, as far as I know, still pitching in AAA for the Cleveland Indians. As a starter, I presume. Swing and a miss by Mauer, 1-1. Indians getting throttled by the White Sox tonight, 8-0.
75 pitches, 3 walks, 1 strikeout for Santana.
Curious news today from the White Sox regarding Chris Sale. He's going to have an MRI on his elbow now tomorrow. And they took him out of the rotation, said he's going to be the closer.
Right.
And now he's going in to have his elbow looked at.
Yeah, there are 30 teams at the major league level. 14 teams already have changed closers, mainly because, you know, some guys have not done very well, others just because of injuries.
Most of the teams in the American League have. 2-2 to Mauer. That's hit fairly well to left field. Wells retreating. Oh, what a great running catch by Vernon Wells.
Yeah, I mentioned in his last at bat, Vernon Wells playing Joe Mauer pretty shallow out in left field. And Joe tried to burn him right here by hitting the ball over the head. His head, but the 3-time Rolling Gold Glove winner ended up just running this ball down. Nice running catch by Vernon Wells.
Last night, Mauer hit a couple of pop-ups to Wells' right and in front of him. They dropped for hits. And here he showed good range, and it's not an easy ball for a left fielder to retreat on and make a running catch on. And Wells made the play for out number 2. Willingham taking ball 1. One and one. Deep to left field. And Willingham cranks a home run. His 6th of the year. And for Santana, the 12th he's allowed this season.
Well, that was a no-doubter right there. Josh Willingham gets his 2nd hit on his 6th home run. His first home run since April 17th when he hit one off of CC Sabathia in New York.
So it's 6-2. And here's Doman. Ball 1.
Willingham hitting his 6th home run for the Twins, their 18th on the year. We mentioned before Santana, he's been hurt by the long ball. That was his 12th home run allowed.
Doman walked in the 2nd, led off the 5th with a triple, and scored on Valencia's ground ball. Big swing and a foul. Two to the Twins DH. Lines a foul. Well, rained out tonight at Camden Yards. They'll play a doubleheader tomorrow. The Rangers and Orioles will. And
What a night for Josh Willingham, huh?
Hamilton.
Hamilton.
Yeah. Bouncer right side. Hamilton homered in his last at bat 2 nights ago. His first 4 at bats last night, and then a double. Josh Willingham hits a home run for the Twins with the bases empty in the 6th. And it's 6-2.
And here comes a ground crew.
The Angels in front by 4.
Oh, Mike Trout in the 3rd inning, an RBI double. That made it a 1-0 ball game. The Angels added a couple more that inning. A 2-run double in the 5th inning by Alberto Callaspo. And a couple double plays turned behind Santana. Josh Willingham with his 6th home run makes it a 6-2 ball game. And there's a ground crew I was talking about at the end of the last inning, Dick.
Yeah. I don't know if they're gonna trust me during the game dragging the infield. I might change a base,
replace a bag. Might do some raking.
I might. I'll do whatever Larry DeVito wants me to do. I'm going to start at 9 o'clock tomorrow, painting the TC behind home plate.
Are you going to have some coffee before you do that? Because they do a beautiful job. Don't drink too much coffee. You'll mess that up. Be shaken.
Well, I'm thinking I can probably, use what they have there and just put fresh paint on top of what's already in the grass.
Well, Brian Dunsing coming into the ball game, making his 14th appearance. The first batter he has to face is Albert Pujols, already with a couple hits and a couple RBIs.
Bouncer left side. We've seen Pujols do an awful lot of that in the first 5 weeks of the season, just in the games against the Twins.
Oh, good fastball middle in right there, and it kind of tied up Pujols. And that ground ball out for the first out.
The first DQ Cap night of 2012 right around the corner. Saturday night's the date. The first 20,000 fans at the 6:10 game against Toronto will get that cool red and white Twins cap courtesy of DQ. Tickets available. Call 800-33-TWINS or visit twinsbaseball.com. Kendrys Morales takes ball 1. At some point on the road, I think it was in Seattle, I was suggesting to Roy Smalley that what we've seen from Dunsing is almost a recreation of what we saw from Glenn Perkins. Both left-handed relievers are doing a good job, but I think this year we've seen Dunsing pitch inside and stand up right-handed hitters a little bit more than we saw.
See, I still think I like Dunsing as a starter, eventual starter again. I think he has the arm strength. I think he has the pitches. And once he can get right-handers out a little more consistently by hitting his spots, especially down and away and hard in, I still think this guy is a starter in the makings. He started last year unsuccessfully, but I believe in this kid. That I believe he can still start at the major league level.
1-2. Deep down the right field line. Komatsu has the corner covered, but the ball lands back in the seats. Well, the numbers against left-handed batters, Dunsing giving up a 158 batting average, and against righties 292. Two and two. Dunsing, the third Twins pitcher. Alex Burnett pitched a couple innings, gave up 1 run. Full count. Morales a switch hitter. Pujols and Hunter, of course, right-handed batters. So Dunsing will get 3 batters here in the 7th, at least 3 who will be right-handed.
Yeah, Morales hitting .231 as a right-handed hitter. Came into the game hitting .333 as a left-handed hitter.
Another one to the right field corner. And this one, too, back in the seats. When he went out with his injury 2 years ago, Morales was considered the best hitter the Angels had. Torrey Hunter included. Howie Kendrick included. And so in re-signing Pujols and having so far anyway, healthy Morales, you can understand why there were such high expectations for this Angel lineup. And the lineup just hasn't clicked yet.
Oh, then you look at their pitching staff. They have 4 starters that you know that if they're on, they're going to win a lot of ball games. Yeah, Weaver, you've got Wilson, C.J. Wilson, you've got Dan Heron, and then tonight's starter, Irvin Santana.
Mike Butcher knows that his bullpen is.
And Jeremy Williams is pitching well.
Jerome, yeah.
Jerome Williams, super.
Mike Butcher knows that his bullpen is considered to be the Achilles heel of this team. There's finally a pop-up that's playable. Bauer gives way to Carroll, number 2. So a long at bat, but Dunsing gets Morales. You know, these games down in Texas, starting Friday night, are much more important games for the Angels than they are for the Rangers because of the standings. The Rangers 20-10, and the Angels a slow start, 13-18, but they're 7.5 back. Angels don't come out of that series with at least 1 win. It's going to be a tough uphill climb.
Yeah, it's still got a long way to go, but that is a big series for the Angels. Fox Tracks following the pitches here. Fastball away. Evens the count. Brought to you by Carrier. I spent some time last night with Marty Davis of Cambria. And Marty's doing well. He wishes everybody good luck and use Cambria, his product.
Span ends the inning. Hunter is 0 for 4. And Dunsing faces 3 right-handed batters and gets along.
Quench your thirst. Get any size soft drink or sweet tea for just $1. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T. Rethink possible.
Ervin Santana still out there pitching in the 7th inning. Delivering ball 1 to Danny Valencia in a 6-2 game. Twins trying to make some noise here in the bottom of the 7th. There's a strike 1-1.
Yeah, pitch number 90 for Santana. 53 have been strikes. Boy, that's the pitch right now. They're really throwing a lot of to Danny Valencia. That breaking ball, he struck out a couple times yesterday on that hard slider.
No swing on the check. 2-2.
That's why I think Ron Coomer was talking about Danny going the other way, especially with that slider. You try to pull that thing, you're going to just, turn it over and hit a ground ball. And he does hold up right there. You hope that he leaves that slider up a little bit and then line it into right field.
Wide of the plate, 3-2. Six, 7, 8, 9 batters due up for the Twins. Drilled to center, but Trout is there. And then there's been some of that too for Valencia as his average has dropped below 200. Hitting balls right on the button and right at people.
Yeah, it's good contact right there.
Stanford Health Injury Report regarding Cliff Lee. 6 innings, 2 earned runs. He appears to be just fine.
Yeah. Well, Phillies really need him to get back out into there and stay healthy.
Another guy coming back from an oblique injury is Jesse Crain, former Twin with the White Sox. Here's Eric Komatsu. He sends one toward the gap, slicing away from Trout, but he gets there. So Komatsu lines out right after a Valencia line out, 2 down. If you act today, you can get a steal of a deal when the Twins host the Indians on May 14th. For a limited time, you can get Skyline View tickets for just $13. The deal against the Indians is available by logging on to twinsbaseball.com. And while you're at it, check out the great ticket offers for May here at Target Field. 2 quick outs here in the 7th, and Drew Butera will hit. A strike. And Butera drops one into left field. And Butera has a pair of singles tonight.
Yeah, 5 hits for the Twins. Drew picking up his second. Lined that ball into right center in his last at bat. Here, ball down, just softly hit over the head of Ibar in the short left field.
Now Carroll, who's walked and hit a comebacker to the mound. Strike on the outside corner. Carroll walked in the 3rd, didn't advance past first base, reached on a fielder's choice after hitting it back to Santana in the 5th. 1-1.
Santana finally getting some run support, looking for his first win in 7 starts.
Tapper to short. Ibar to Kendrick, and that ends the 7th. On to the 8th inning with the Angels in front, 6-2.
And tomorrow, my partner, Dick Bramer, will be joining the Twins ground crew here at Target Field. Head groundskeeper Larry DeVito is looking forward to the day.
Dick, we're looking forward to having you with us on the grounds crew this Thursday. It's going to be hard work, but it's going to be a lot of fun for you, too. You'll get the thrill of breaking peanut shells and seeds off the warning track, dragging the warning track, pounding clay in the bullpens, helping out at home plate, and even painting the TC behind home plate.
I think the key word was work.
So you were trying to convince me today that I was going to have to manually pick up the sunflower seeds and pick them out of the grass.
Yeah.
Here's Howie Kendrick facing Brian Dunsing, and another drive to right. Komatsu back, makes the catch on the track, one away. So Kendrick, who has 3 hits, hit the ball sharply there, and Dunsing gets him to line out for the first out of the 8th.
Well, that was kind of my question in our conference call this morning. You know, a lot of players choose sunflower seeds, especially the outfielders. And, you know, I mean, Bernard Span, I believe he does out there. You know, he spits them all over the place. So over time, that would create some type of
right,
a little too much sunflower seed. So what do? You rake them up?
I'll rake them up, but you were trying to convince me I had to get on my hands and knees and pick them up by hand. I know that you've talked to members of the grounds crew, and you've egged them on. You've tried to make tomorrow as difficult for me as possible.
Oh no, it's going to be fun.
They've told me. Bert says, you know, make Dick get sick to his stomach is what they've said.
Oh, you'll have a great time.
Bouncer to Dozier. Now to Mauer. Talking with Joe Mauer before this today. The players, of course, have been giving me some grief, attention, whatever, about being on the grounds crew tomorrow. And I told Joe, I said, no, I got a completely different experience than you had, because when I was a kid, I went to Met Stadium. That was the genesis of all this. You know, I thought the grounds crew would be a fun job to have. And of course, for Joe, when he went to Twins games as a kid, he went to the Metrodome, and they went around with that vacuum and tractor and just sucked up the, you know, sunflower seeds or heaven knows what off the artificial turf.
Well, you'll find out tomorrow. Keyword, work.
Well, I think you would agree what you and I do up here is not work, but what those guys do down there is work. I am looking forward to making some new friends tomorrow.
I'll tell you what, they do a great job here at Target Field.
1-1 to Ibar. This idea for this, by the way,
this copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
I know that's important to get in, but what I was going to say was just as important. This whole idea was established, and the date we did this was established in the middle of March. So this has taken some thought and some planning. And I hope I don't screw it up tomorrow.
No, you won't.
2 down, or 3 down in the 8th. Twins down by 4.
You messed that up, but you won't tomorrow.
Runs here in the bottom half of inning number 8 at Target Field, and after the final out is recorded, we're going to have a lot more coming your way here on Fox Sports North with Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink. We'll talk about Carl Pavano and his first short outing of 2012. Gardy's postgame press conference coming your way, plus the instructional tonight, executing the rundown. We saw it earlier tonight with Albert Pujols, and Bert Blyleven and Ron Coomer will take you through the fundamentals of the rundown, guys.
Denard Span facing Irvin Santana. Twins hit some balls hard against Santana in both the 6th and 7th inning, but he's out there to pitch to the Twins, at least start in the 8th inning. Span takes ball 1. And now a strike. Span smashed a ball off the glove of Pujols with 2 men aboard. And 2 out in the 5th. Pujols deflected it to Kendrick. Pujols scrambled back to the bag. That was the end of the threat.
Santana coming into this inning with 100 pitches now at 103.
1-2 to Span.
He's one of the 4 starters that Mike Scioscia and Mike Butcher expecting to throw over 200 innings. Jarrett Weaver, C.J. Wilson, Santana, and Dan Haren.
Still 1-2.
Santana last year career high 228 innings.
Two and
that fastball just missing inside. Santana 3 walks in a ball game, 1 strikeout. Given up 5 hits, a home run, a triple, a double, and a couple singles.
Two to Span. Up the middle and through. Sharp single up the middle for Span to get the 8th inning started. And that'll bring up Brian Dozier. Dozier called out on strikes in the 1st inning, then a bouncer to short, and then a pop-up to short. Strike on the outside corner. Dozier a hit in his major league debut, his first game. 2 hits last night, looking for his first hit in game number 3. Off-speed pitch that clips the inside corner. 0-2.
Yeah, good breaking ball right there. Started middle in, and Dozier kind of gave up on it and broke the inner half of the plate. Wilson sitting down and away.
And Dozier chips it over the head of Pujols, not unlike his single that he got in last night's game. A foul ball. A little bit low. 1-2. Twins with the leadoff man on for just the 2nd time in the ballgame. They got a leadoff double, didn't score in the 2nd. Leadoff triple and scored in the 5th, and now Span's aboard with a leadoff single in the 8th. Little dribbler. Teospo's got to hurry. And a close play. Dozier's retired.
All right, bang bang play. That's for an experienced first baseman like Albert Pujols. Caught that ball and then stepped toward the infield. Mike Scioscia coming out. Looks like there'll be a pitching change. Took another look right there.
Yeah, he was out. Span goes to second. Santana out of the ball game, hoping his bullpen can hold his first win of the year. Rehab from his ACL injury. Read that story right now on FoxSportsNorth.com. The Twins trying to claw their way back into this game. The Twins have seen the Angels have some bullpen issues, some injuries and ineffectiveness. This is a guy that the Angels picked up since we were in Southern California. Ernesto Frieri. They got him from the Padres, and he's got nasty stuff.
Yeah, that happening on May 3rd. That he was traded to the Angels from the Padres, making his third relief appearance as a Twin, as an Angel. With the Padres, he made 11 relief appearances, 2.31 ERA, had 18 strikeouts in 11 2/3 innings pitched for the Padres.
The Twins hope to get some hits, to be sure, but some extra base hits would go a long way toward making up this 4-run deficit. See what Bauer can do here. He's 0 for 3. Strike one. The Angels got some bad news and then eventually some good news regarding LaTroy Hawkins and Scott Downs. Hawkins is out for a while with a broken finger. He was pitching because earlier in the inning on Sunday, Scott Downs went down with a knee injury. That hasn't been serious enough to put him on the disabled list. Outside, 1-1. In fact, the Angels are holding out some chance that he might pitch yet in tonight's ball game. Now, with Frieri coming in, that might not be the case. They may ask him to get a 5-out save here. One and one. 2-1. Bauer hit the ball hard as last time up. Vernon Wells retreated in left field and made a catch on his line drive near the warning track.
Frieri, 26 years old.
You saw the numbers: 2 innings, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and he's having a hard time throwing Bauer strikes here in the 8th inning. Angels started the year with Jordan Walden as their closer. Then they switched to Scott Downs. Then he was hurt. Frieri may get a shot at that job before it's said and done. And Bauer walks. Willingham to the plate with 2 men aboard. In his last at bat in the 6th inning, Josh Willingham provided us with our Coors Light Hold Hard Blast.
Home run number 6 on the year for Josh Willingham off of Ervin Santana. That made it a 6-2 ball game.
And Mike Butcher going out to the mound, wondering if Frieri saw Willingham's home run. He might very well have gotten a good view of it because Willingham almost hit it into the Angel bullpen.
Well, Mauer with an excellent eye at the plate, just takes it outside. Frieri originally signed by the Padres back in 2003 out of Columbia as a free agent.
The country, not the university.
No, the country.
Now Willingham hit a solo home run. Earlier he hit a ringing double to the left field corner, leading off the second inning. Ball one. Mike Scioscia hoping that his bullpen can be firmed up here soon. 2-0.
Yeah, great starting staff. They're #1 in the American League as far as combined ERA. And
here comes Mike Scioscia. And if he's been tossed, that would be the only reason for him to come out here and argue, having already been ejected. And now he's trying to get his money's worth.
Well, he's been kind of yelling at Sam Holbrook all night long about his strike calling.
Now, I did not see the ejection. I was looking away, but he can't be out here arguing unless he's already been ejected. So I'm guessing that's what happened. And Scioscia heading down to the clubhouse. Two and 0 to Willingham. There's a strike. Twins trying to break through against the Angel bullpen, down by 4 runs. Foul, back 2-2.
Let's take a look at the pitch right there that Mike Scioscia argued about right there. And Holbrook listening and saying, "You're out of here."
He had heard quite a bit of commentary from Scioscia earlier in the ball game. Oh, big pitch here. Willingham with 2 men aboard. Two and 2. Foul back. It's similar to the pitch he hit out, a fastball down, and Willingham crushed the one from Santana.
Yeah, that fastball clocked at 93. Frieri has kind of an awkward type of a delivery. Throws a little bit across his body, but he really drops the ball hand, the right hand, almost down by his right knee, and very quick arm to get that ball back. You see right there.
High fastball got him. Ran it up and in. I don't think he threw it anywhere near where he wanted to, but Willingham swung through it.
Another 93-mile-an-hour fastball up and in, and Josh swinging at it. Maybe got a little piece of it, but right into the glove of Wilson. No, he just missed it.
You can
Good
see
hard fastball.
Wilson's target was down and away, and the pitch ran up and in. Here's Doumit. The Twins need to break through here in the 8th. Doumit with a walk, a triple, and a ground ball to first. Ball 1. Threw a changeup to him. He's way out in front, and he grounded it foul. Span at second. Bauer at first. 2-1. 13 pitches by Frieri. 6 strikes. Called strike, evens the count.
Another fastball, good location. .93-mile-an-hour fastball. Pitcher's pitch.
While full count with 2 gone, the runners will leave early. Valencia on deck. Third baseman hoping for a chance here as the Twins try to crawl out of this hole they've been in really since the 3rd inning when the Angels scored 3 runs. Full count. Doman swings at a pitch away from him, and the Twins leave 2 aboard in the 8th.
Boy, the truck does a great job, don't they? Showing the highlights right there. Some great music.
Score can be changed, I suppose. Twins will hope to do that in the 9th. They had a chance in the 8th. Brian Dunsing will start his 3rd inning of work.
He's retired all 6 batters he'd been asked to get in the 7th and 8th inning.
And they were all right-handed batters. And I might be reading something into nothing, but Twins typically don't do this. Ask a pitcher to drive to right off the bat of Wilson, and Komatsu makes the catch. 7 up, 7 down for Dunsing. Twins typically don't burn up a reliever 3 innings at a time in one night, and they're obviously very unsettled in their rotation with both Liriano and Blackburn struggling. It might be that they're trying to stretch Dunsing out here in his transition to being a starting pitcher.
Yeah, it might be. Also might be that he needed only 24 pitches to get the 6 outs too.
Yeah. But Dunsing has been a starter and was last year at this time. 1-0. up and in. Dunsing has been used typically 1 inning at a time.
That's the pitch to right-handers that he really needs to, establish more. That fastball in, that opens up the outer half of the plate. We've already seen in this ball game what Mike Trout can do with a pitch down and away.
2-1.
Drew Butera in his last at bat for Mike Trout. I mean, Alex Burnett kept busting him inside, and then he just hit a ball right back at Burnett that ricocheted off of him. Good fastball there. Trout 3 for 4 in the ball game. A couple RBIs. He has scored a couple runs.
Check swing.
A lot of potential in this young man right here. Only 20 years old. Last year came up, played in 40 games, hit only .220. Started the season down in AAA. Called up when Bobby Abreu was let go.
2-2. And now full count. Abreu now taking his swings with the Dodgers. Well, there's no activity in the Twins pen, so as the 7th and 8th were innings for Dunsing, it looks like he'll have every opportunity to complete the 9th. High fly ball to center field. Span comes in. 2 down, and Dunsing has retired all 8 right-handed batters he has faced here so far, and he'll face another one in Callaspo. Now some of them are switch hitters. Ibar and Callaspo, Morales. Callaspo with a couple of hits and a couple of runs scored, 1 driven in. One and 0. And a strike.
Good fastball, good location.
Well, the Angels leave after the game to open up a big series in Texas. The Blue Jays come to town. They're flying in here from the West Coast, where they beat Oakland 5-2 this afternoon. Two and 1. Three and 1 with Pujols on deck.
They stay with that fastball down and away. Butera wants it. Good pitch. Prior to this outing, Dunsing's longest outing was an inning and 2/3 back in the middle of April in New York. Trying to get through his 3rd inning of relief.
And he walked it. First base runner. And now Pujols will get his 2nd look at Dunsing tonight. The hope was for Pujols that after he hit his first home run, numbers 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth would quickly follow. That has not happened. And when we were in Anaheim last week, Roy Smalley, of course, a student of hitting, and he offered his analysis. Ron Coomer has. For that matter, you have.
Well, I talked to Mickey Hatcher. I mean, he's his hitting coach. And, in last night's ballgame, Pujols does not like that call right there. But I talked to Mickey Hatcher, and he says, you know what? He talked to Pujols. You grounded out 4 times yesterday. I want to see some air. I want you to just uppercut that ball and hit it in the air.
Right off the end of the bat.
Well, and today, first time up, he hit the fly ball to Denard Span. Then he got the RBI single in the 3rd and the 5th. And then he grounded out off of Dunsing, the first man Dunsing saw, and a good fastball in to Valencia. That in the 7th inning.
2 strikes, Dunsing to Pujols. Nice block by Butera on the pitch that landed in the left-handed batter's box.
Yeah, use whatever you can right there. It looked like he used his shin guard to knock that ball down.
Someone who covers the Angels suggested to me last week that the ballpark in Anaheim has gotten into Pujols' head a little bit because he's hit some balls this time of the night out there with that marine layer, and he's left the batter's box thinking, well, there's that first home run, and then it dies in the warning track or hits the fence, and his only home run hit this year was in the daytime in Anaheim.
Once he finds himself and gets that swing down, watch out. Again, a career .328 hitter coming into this year.
It's to the right field corner, chased by Komatsu. Just foul. Well, if they've been waiting for that one series for him to heat up, the one starting Friday night in Texas would be a good one for him to heat up.
Yes, it would. Dunsing and Butera going on over how they're going to try to get this guy out right here.
Jeff Gray's warmed up in the Twins pen now. Dunsing hoping to finish off Pujols and complete his 3rd inning of relief. High fly to left. And Dunsing with 3 scoreless innings, 10 at bats against right-handed batters, no hits allowed, and he threw 44 pitches. And the Twins haven't been able to get back in the game since.
And that's exactly what Ervin Santana had not received over his last 5 starts. Some early run support or any run support. And Jimmy John's delivery of the game, Ervin Santana, 7 1/3 innings. And if the Angels beat the Twins here, he'll win his first game in 7 starts.
Danny Valencia will lead off the 9th for the Twins against Jordan Walden.
Now Walden, a hard-throwing right-hander, coming in for his 9th appearance of the year. He was a closer for Mike Scioscia and Mike Butcher last year. Walden worked here on Monday night, 2/3 of an inning, threw 8 pitches, 5 for strikes with a strikeout.
Valencia, Komatsu, and Butera lined up to face Walden here in the 9th. Angels catch a bit of a break. I think we mentioned before the Rangers-Orioles game today was rained out. They'll play a doubleheader tomorrow. So the Angels will have a day of rest while the Rangers will play 2 games at Camden Yards. Ball 1, now ball 2. Valencia drove in a run with a ground ball in the 5th. Hit the ball hard as last time up, lining out to Trout in center field. That's to right center, and it's hanging in the air for Hunter. So Valencia doing what he can. He's trying to hit the ball to the opposite field, and he just hasn't had any success yet. One down. Hunter playing him in the gap, and he's taken a couple of balls away from him in the right center field gap. One gone. Here's Komatsu. Strike one. Fouled back, 2 strikes.
Oh, you see that fastball that Walden has, 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Saved 32 ball games last year for the Angels. You mentioned he faltered in September, but he's got a great arm.
Two strikes to Komatsu. Chris Parmelee's come on to the on-deck circle. He'll hit for Drew Butera. Tampa Bay came back with 4 runs in the top of the 9th at Yankee Stadium to beat the Yankees 4-1. Word on Mariano Rivera, by the way, the complication for his exam was a blood clot in his knee. He's on some blood thinning medication to take care of that. And wide of the plate, 3-2 to Komatsu. Foul back. Twins need base runners. Trying to get the lineup turned over here. See if Komatsu can get on base with a 3-2 count. Wide, he drew a walk.
Well, second walk that Komatsu has taken in the ball game.
And now Parmelee. With Bauer playing first base the last couple of days, Parmelee's been on the bench watching. See what he can do in this pinch hitting appearance. Parmelee 0 for 2 as a pinch hitter. Down and away, ball 1. Twins have the 2 runs after a leadoff triple. Doman scored. Willingham with the solo home run. They've had some opportunities to score off and on throughout the game here tonight. Parmelee pops it up to center. Trout coming in for the second out. And that'll leave the game to Jamie Carroll. Carroll a walk and a couple of ground balls. Komatsu takes off. Angels don't care. Defensive indifference gets him to second base. Strike call to Jamie Carroll. Bounce to the right side. Pujols has it. Walden covers. And the Angels win the season series 6-3. And they win this series 2-1. Anthony LaPanta. Great pitching performance last night by Scott Diamond. Carl Pavano taken out early in the ball game tonight. The Angels never look back.
Early offense was key for Minnesota last night. It was key for the Angels tonight as they score 5 in the first 4 innings. We'll hear from Ron Gardenhire. Look at Carl Pavano's shortest outing of the year, and instruct you on the rundown next on Twins Live.